So now we're going to be going over how to add a custom cursor in your game. So you want to create a JavaScript file, and I already have one set up right here, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up and show you what we did. So we have a variable up here called crosshair text. It's of type texture. This is where our texture is going to go. Then we have a variable called position. It's of type rect. And it's going to position our crosshair image. And then we have another one called static variable original on equals true. This is a Boolean. So in our function update, we have our position value right here, and we're going to say rect screen.width minus our crosshair texture.width. It's going to subtract those two and divide it by 2. And it's going to do the same thing with our height. So we're going to take our screen height and our crosshair texture height and divide that by 2. Then it's going to go ahead and apply the values of our actual texture width and height. So that's going to determine our position. And remember, it's in our update function, so it's going to update this multiple times every frame. So every frame, it's going to be updating it with the new position. Then we have our function on GUI. This is an official function, so you need to type it out like this, on GUI. Then we're going to say if original on is true. Remember, 2 equal signs means equals. So we're saying if original on is true, then go ahead and do this. And we're going to say GUI.drawTexture at our position, and we want to use the crosshair texture at that position. Then finally, we have our screen.showCursor equals false. We're doing this so that we can disable our original cursor from being visible in our game window. Alright, so once you've done that, go ahead and save it. Now remember, this is a GUI type of element, so you want to make sure that you apply it to your camera. And we're going to be applying it to our first-person controller camera. So select your camera, then go ahead and drag and drop your crosshair custom JavaScript file onto the inspector panel. Now we have a slot here that we need to fill, so go ahead and open it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and import a crosshair texture that I have. So I'm going to be using this one. I created this in Photoshop. So I'm going to drag it and drop it into my project panel. Right, then just drag and drop that crosshair texture in there. And if you open this up, you can see that you can adjust the position, but you don't need to adjust any of those settings in here. It should automatically update it. So now if we hit play, there's our cursor. You can see that my cursor is still visible there, and that's because I haven't clicked in the game window. If I left click, it's disappeared now. Alright, so that is how you create a custom cursor in Unity, and that is how you disable your original cursor from being visible.